Hey guys, welcome to Mountain Man Explore the Truth. How's everybody doing today or tonight, depending on time you're watching this or listening to the podcast? I hope you are doing well, my friends. Let me check some things out to make sure it's recording and picking up my voice because I am not sure if I'm muted or on mute because I got a couple spots I have to clear up. So you might hear my voice double here. Hold on a second. Depending on time you're watching. It's working. Okay. All right, guys. So some updates on the show. Um, I've been waiting to release episodes because I'm working on building up the show. I want to get at least 10 or more episodes saved up, and I'll start releasing them every week. But right now, I'm going to keep it at what I have. I'm going to try to do lives here and there with some special guests, too, that I had on the show in the past. Um, Still give you guys a little something. It may not be on the audio version, though, because it's just different when you're trying to record the audio version for the show, you know. I feel like it's a little bright. Hold on a sec, guys. Ain't no professional, right? Anyways, Mountain Man Explore Truth. We got some good stuff coming on, man. We're gonna bring some great guests on the show and tell their truth. Um, I appreciate for those who subscribed so far. I don't got a lot of YouTube subscribers yet. I'm about 160 right now. Help me push up to 1,000, guys. I know it's a long ways to go, but hopefully I'll get there. I got some great friends out there helping me out too. Shout out to Matt and Rye and a bunch of other podcasters out there too. They're doing great. Out of ones I've started with in the past, you know, and Rye is one of the guys started around the same time, and he just kept going. He kept the episodes going, and he's doing really well. And Matt, he popped out of nowhere and started doing his show, and bam, he boomed. I knew he would boom. He's got that right, formula, and he's a laid back guy, and he's just a good guy. So it's awesome to have him be in the loop too, and me be involved with him too, coming on his show. So if you haven't checked out those, we're reviewing videos and giving our opinion and respectfully giving our opinions. If they're hoax or legit and stuff like that, because you got to rule out all that. Anyways, so be sure to go check out Planet 412 and what is that? Hold on a second, guys. Something glitched out on my screen here. Bear with me for a minute, guys. I apologize. I'm not trying to make a little pause there on you. Um, did have some issue with um my format. What's this? Excuse me. I need to update my OBS because I think it's wigging out a little bit, but I'll worry about that later. Right now, it's not looking like it's doing it to the screen or anything, so the screen looks good, but it sure did some weird stuff from my view. I love it when stuff like that, is going on when you're trying to do a a little quick little live show, but it's not, not trying to be doing it all professionally. Just bear with me for a minute, guys. Let me check some things out here. So, hmm. So anyhow, right back into it. It looks like it's working fine. I just had to change because I got the way I do it for free on my show. I had to have two windows open and got to make sure one's doing what it's supposed to do and one's all like set up right because the sound could sound weird. So hopefully it sounds okay to you guys. Anyways, what was I? Oh yeah, I was shout out to Matt. So make sure you check out Matt's show, Planet 412. He don't need my help, but he's doing amazing, really amazing on his show. He's got a good audience, good people. And shout out to Rye too. Rye's got a great show going too. I like the way he's doing his show as well. So if you haven't checked out his show, go check out Codega's Codex of Curiosity. Apologize. I have a tongue roller there, man. Sometimes I tumble on my words. I apologize for that, guys. That's just who I am. I'm a tumbler when it comes to words. Um, Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing well. And hey, Kel, how are you? Seeing you on Planet 412. Thanks for being a subscriber. But much more to come for the show. I got some guests lined up. Need to reach back out to them. For those who might be watching right now, that try to reach out to me, be sure to message me on Facebook. Just look for Blake Botel and PM me, and we'll set up a show for you. And I can't wait to get get some guests on the show, some great guests. Yes, Matt is awesome. I really enjoy Matt Kelt. Uh, Thanks for coming in, man. That's awesome. It's just out of spare moment. I decided to do a quick little live. Excuse me, to give a quick live and updates. A lot to come. Excuse me. Allergies are picking up over here, guys. One thing I learned in Texas is I think I might be allergic to their pine trees. I love pine trees, but these ones are different, man. They're like the long pine needles, and they really flare up my allergies, and yeah, I learned that real quick when I was mowing the lawn. Uh, so I came down here thinking my allergies would be a little bit better, but I was wrong on that. So once again, thank you, Kel, for coming to subscribe. I thank Matt for that. I hope more people come subscribe. It's slowly growing in here. I took a long break. I shared that a little bit with the guys. I'm gonna go ahead and share that, guys. I took a break from the show when I first started out. Um, you can go back and check it too, Kel. You can go check out the episode I had Matt on. It was awesome. I had him on the show twice. He was one of my first guests. He just looked for the old mill, and it was pretty incredible experience and encounter when I heard him talk about it. He was the reason why I started believing more in the Dogman, Kel. Um, I used to think Dogman was just something, just people mistaken, as Bigfoot. But the more you dig into it, there's definitely something there because the more reports coming forward, you hear reports of German Shepherd like looking creature. So and when I heard Matt's experience, it it put me on the edge of my seat, and I felt that fear. So it's one of the best dogman encounter I hear, but it's scariest too. I'm pretty sure that traumatized him as a kid. So but anyhow, going to me on taking breaks here and there. I took several breaks from the show, guys, because I was dealing with some personal stuff, and I was dealing with trying to get in a house. Um, I was dealing with depression. I was dealing with strange things going on around me, and I felt like I was being lured to do things I shouldn't be doing. I was an alcoholic in my past life, but I stopped drinking like that several years ago, thanks to my wife. Occasionally I'll have a beer here and there, and it's no big deal. I'm all in control now, so I'm doing really great now. And depression is no joke. People definitely deal with depression in different forms, and I dealt with it for all my life. I had some things happen, but I'm doing better. I'm doing a whole lot better, and now I'm ready to do the show. And I'll share more information on what I seen and what I dealt with before I started praying more to God and Jesus, and it helped me too, and my wife especially helped me, and good friends, that talked about your problems. I usually don't talk to friends about my personal problems. I usually just talk to my wife, and she's been a great listener and motivator and keep me on my toes. So much, I love that woman. She's my best friend, and I know I got some good friends I could talk to, but I'm just one of those men, that just keep it locked up. But I'm doing a whole lot better. I still got, things to work on, but I'm ready to do the show. So I'm good enough to do the show. Well, let's just say I dealt with some experience in the past, seeing some shadow type figures, and I'm seeing some strange things that I couldn't figure out what it was. And I feel like when I got into the Bigfoot stuff, I started learning, more about Bigfoot. I knew Bigfoot was probably real because when I was a kid, I was always into Bigfoot. So my family knows that. My relatives, they would always give me some gifts, like see behind me Bigfoot stuff, and that's just a chunk of it. I got more Bigfoot stuff to put up, but I don't have a big enough wall to put it all up. But anyhow, I dealt with a lot of stuff, and and through life, I seen things when I was a kid, spirits, and I think they were dark spirits, to be honest. But I shared that on the show with you guys a few times, and I could see it. I remember it. But anyhow, I feel like when you get into this stuff, your mind opens up more and you start seeing more things. But you got to be careful. You got to be really careful because you don't want to bring any of this stuff home. So you want to be, treading lightly and be careful and be safe because you can track things and they might want to stop you for what you're looking into because you're trying to share the truth with the people. And that's what my show is about, guys. It's sharing the truth, it's sharing people's truth, their experience, their encounter, their research, and whatever they want people to know. And I think that's important. There's like-minded people, and there's people that are still one mindset on what they think it is, and I'm more leaning shores open mind and be open to a lot of things, even if you don't believe in what they believe. Um, because you think one thing doesn't mean you're right. Nobody's right. Nobody knows. So those are the ones you got to stay away from. I mean, don't stay away from, but just kind of debate with them with respect, and because they're one mind track and think they know, but they don't know what Bigfoot is. They don't know what Dogman is. They don't know what's going on with spirits. They don't know anything. They just keep guessing, just like me and you. The ones who experience it more, have these encounters and paranormal, UFOs. Those are the ones we need to be listening to because you got to put the story together. Well, it's not a story; it's a true experience. We need to put them together and put the puzzle together and try to figure out together what's going on. Are we dealing with some kind of, you know, are we dealing with spirits, dark spirits and good spirits battling each other? I don't know. I don't know. And when it comes to Bigfoot, is Bigfoot part of the Nephilims? I think it's a possibility. I think there's a good chance it could be. Um, and the Dogman, is it just some kind of hybrid creature that was created by us? I don't know, but I think Dogman is possibly created by us. But I also think they've been around so long, they might just be something that's coming in and out of dimensions. That might be demonic. I don't know. See, I say I don't know, but I'm guessing on things that what it could be. Anyhow, it's the point is that we got to let people tell their experience and their encounter and their thoughts on what it could be, and you can agree and disagree with them and still have a great conversation about it. So we need to get back to that because a lot of people are one mindset. I've learned in the Bigfoot world and paranormal world, the UFO, they're all one mind track on things. So, but give me a minute, guys. I'm gonna pop up Facebook on my phone, do a quick little live and let people know I'm on, and give them some updates too, real quick, so that way I can remind some people that want to come on the show so they can message me. But I figure I go on YouTube and do a quick little live. One thing that sucks about having a beard and a mustache, sometimes you get it in your coffee all over your mustache. But I appreciate that, Kel. Yeah, I'm doing better, man. I'm gonna keep doing better and keep going, and I'm on the right path, and I'm not gonna let stuff bring me down no more, man. I gotta stay above it. I gotta stay above the water. So what I like to do is reach out to some people. If you're watching this, and if you know somebody, I want to get more people on the show that want to talk about the firmament, the world. What's going on? Is there more to it? Is there an ice wall? Is there something going on in the galaxy? Is there even a galaxy? What's going on? Because when you read the Bible, I think the Bible's telling us bits and pieces of the truth, and I think mankind has took a lot of the truth out of the Bible. That's why I tell people you can't believe everything what the Bible says, because man's been around so long to manipulate it and turn it into like a government control. So I believe in Jesus. I believe in God, but I believe they abused it and turned it into something else. Because if you pay attention, it almost sounds like our government. You know what I mean? When you read carefully, you're like, man, that sounds like control. Um, Reason I want to get to this point because I read pieces of it, and then I read different Bibles that would bring up certain things that weren't in other Bibles. I'm not gonna bash Christians. I'm not gonna bash any other religion, but I don't consider myself really a Christian. I just consider myself a believer in the Lord and Jesus and a follower. Because I feel like the Christians are wrong. I think they're wrong about what they're doing and been brainwashed and kind of brainwashing people, in my opinion. I'm not bashing on you. I don't know. I just feel like Christians are just got it wrong. That's my opinion. Um, I basically just said it. The Bible, it just doesn't seem to make sense on some things. It just seems like it's been manipulated by man. Are they the words of the Lord? I believe some of it is, but I think they took a lot of the words of the Lord out of there. So why? Because they don't want us to know the truth. Because I think we have abilities of pretty similar to Jesus. I think we have abilities that God gave us, and it's been blocked, and we've been shut down. Like, for example, we're not supposed to eat 3 meals a day. If you read carefully, we're supposed to just have some little snack and you're supposed to just drink fluids, like water, and have a meal. And your body is supposed to do like a fast. They call it a fast. Look into it. Research a fast. Um, the big, powerful men and women, I guess we'll have to involve them, have created a system where you are supposed to eat 3 meals. You ever felt like when you ate your breakfast, you felt okay, like you got energy, but then later on you feel like you're feeling fatigued and tired, and boom, you're like, what's going on? Because your body took too much of stuff that you don't need. And then you have your lunch, and you still feel kind of cruddy and tired and boom, fatigue. And then when you have your dinner, you're ready to go to bed. I think we're overeating, guys. So look into it, because in the Bible it shows that you're supposed to just eat these certain foods, and your body energizes off just those certain foods. That's another good, whole another good episode to talk about on here about how we're supposed to eat. Um, think about it. They got us in a system to eat 3 meals a day and overeat. We overeat too much sweet. Don't get me wrong. I love sweets. I love candy and peanut butter fudge and all kinds of sweets. But I cut back. I cut back from all that. I'm cutting soda out of my diet now. I'm done with soda pop. I'll have one once in a while, but I'm trying to not drink any more of that. And candy, it's one of my worst enemies, man. I love sweets. So I'm controlling that as well, because we're putting too much sugar in our body. We're supposed to have a certain amount. So that's a whole nother debate we could talk about sometime, because I like to bring somebody like-minded on talking about that, because you got to think about it. It's pretty interesting. That'd be a good mountain man talk episode. Anyways, read carefully, and going back to the firmament, when you look into it, it says water below and water above, and then way and above the water is the heavens. And it's weird, because when you look deep into it, you see these people trying to make it to the moon and Mars, and they keep crashing into a firmament, and it blows up. They're just not showing it to us. But if you're out there watching them doing rocket launch, you'll see it clearly go up, boom, blow up when it hits that. So something weird going on, guys. I think we're in a you know I think we're in a world within other worlds around us, in my opinion. So I would definitely like to bring somebody on to talk about that. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna do a quick little live and to see if I can reach out to some people. I got a little bright in my eyes there. Sorry, guys. Dim that down a little bit. Let's see here. But you know what you can do too to help out the show is make sure you share Mountain Man Explore Truth and subscribe and hit that bell and comment on YouTube. But if you want to check out all my episodes, you'll see all of them on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and oh man, I can't remember what other platforms. I'm on several platforms. Just Google it, you'll find it. The only one I don't think I'm on is can't remember what that one was. I remember I was getting reached out by I don't know if it really was him, Wes from Sasquatch Chronicles. I think he reached out to me and told me that I wasn't on this platform, and he thinks it would do me good if I got on there. So, but I didn't take him too serious, because I don't know if it really is Wes. If it is, that was awesome. I need to try to stay connected with him and try to bring him on my show, or you know, I think it'd be an honor to have him come on a show. He's one of the guys I started to listen to on podcast shows first. I like the way he does his show. He lets the guests speak and tell their truth, and he's laid back. I just like his vibe. When I first started listening to him, I thought, oh, I don't know about this, but when you listen to more and more of his show, it gets really good. He's got a really good. Nobody can beat the hit when it comes to Bigfoot stuff. Nobody can really beat that guy. He's doing it right, and he's getting great guests on the show, and he's got a good setup. And he's just one of the guys that led me to my point of doing podcasts and motivate me to do it, because I've always been fascinated and interested in doing this stuff. I just never took it serious. I had a YouTube channel before, but I deleted it. It was about this kind of stuff. It wasn't called Mountain Man. It was called something else, and I can't remember the name. And I didn't take it too serious, but now I do. I came up with Mountain Man Explore the Truth, because I want to explore the truth with you guys. So I hope you continue to support and explore with me. And yeah, I just wanted to say that about Wes. He's He's got a good show. If you haven't watched or listened to his show, go check it out. Sasquatch Chronicles, man. He don't need my help. That guy's amazing out there, man. He's doing really well. What I like about another thing to bring up about Wes while I'm doing this, what I like about his show is that he puts researchers on the spot, because he doesn't like the thoughts of them thinking they know exactly what it is, and they don't know. So, and that's what I liked about him because he was putting them on the spot. Like, well, I'll hear what you got to say, but how do you know? Where's your evidence? Where you back this up? Really in the beginning he was hitting them hard, but now he lets them have a chance and becomes friends with them. And I mean, he's friends with some researchers that I think they're little out there and a little bit full of it, but I think they do have some good findings. But that's just how it goes. You grow a relationship, friendship with people like that, and they turn out to be good guys. So I give him that. In the beginning of this, I was real hard on that. Some researchers that would show these pictures and footprints. And what gets me on these footprints is when these guys go out and show footprints and they show their casts. I want to see a cast like that behind me. I don't want to see this chunky, muddy looking thing that doesn't have any demo ridges. It's just muck. It just happens to look like a footprint. So, in my opinion, that's not a footprint. It's just a shape of one that kind of looked like one. It doesn't say it was a footprint because you don't see toes. You see what looks like could be toes, but then you can tell they've been finger patted down. So that's one thing I don't get with people is that you got to really pay attention to the detail of the footprint. I mean, I learned that from watching Cliff, from Finding Bigfoot. When you see his footprints that he has and what he's shared, you pay attention to the details of it, and you got something. He says, "Don't get me." I remember him saying, "Don't get me wrong. You'll get some that don't really look as good. It's a possible footprint, but he's pretty sure that it's not." So be leery on some of these researchers out there that are trying hard to be famous, which that's what it shouldn't be about. It should just be about sharing your evidence and your truth instead of trying to. I don't know. I just feel like some people are faking it too much. I think they had experience, but they start to fake things, and that's just unfortunate. And guess what? What happens when I call out to these guys? There's one particular, few of them actually, that I reach out to tell them to come on my show, and they haven't yet. They reschedule with me 4 or 5 times and never come on. And these are researchers I'm talking about. And I go, yeah, I want you to come on and share your truth. And I'm not going to, poke the bear and, put them on the spot. I'll tell them what I think. And hopefully they'll be respectful to me as I'm being respectful of them. They might believe they actually got a dog man or a Bigfoot right there in that picture. But what I'm seeing in some of those, I see, what looks like a bark tree that looks kind of like a Bigfoot or a dog man, but it isn't that. Maybe they camouflage that way. I don't know. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it doesn't look like one to me. Not detailed enough, but especially when it comes to footprints. The problem with these researchers too, while I'm at that point, is that they never go back out to that spot and take pictures of the area where they saw this thing. Go to that area to debunk that it's not a tree, and detail it. Compare the pictures together to show where that thing was. So if it's gone, it's gone. If it's there, it's there, and that tells you it was a tree. And if it's gone, it was probably something there. So you got to pay attention to the picture too. You want to make sure everything matches because the researchers will try to, and try to fool you on that. They'll try to go, oh look, see, it's the area. No, match up those trees and bushes. It depends on the time of the year because it can really be hard to match it up. But my best advice to researchers is back up your findings. Go out there and take pictures of what you saw before and after. If you want people to believe what you saw in your footprints, go to that spot and share it. But that's the thing. That's just, a lot of people overlap that. Researchers and people that see it, they don't pay attention to that part of the research. They just don't go out there and go, well, let's back up your story and make sure it's legit. Go take a bunch of pictures and, well, you know what they always say when they come forward? Instead of doing that, they go, well, I kind of had trouble finding the exact spot, or I have some pictures, I'll share it later. Or they just say, why do I need to prove it? I know what I saw. I know what I believe, and that's good enough for me. That tells me they just don't want you to see the actual truth because it probably is a tree. I hate to say it, but that's what it turns out to be, and that's my best advice to these researchers: like, back up your stuff. If you have one footprint, most likely not a big footprint. I believe there's got to be a pathway. Some people claim they see a pathway and it disappears. It might be a bot about, and I might believe that. But when I see one footprint or two, I'm going to question that. It's going to seem a little hoaxy to me. So if you see like a pathway, a footprint's going and they start to kind of disappear, it depends on the soil too. I get that. But I don't know. You got me bought on it if it shows a path. Um, that's all I'm going to say about certain researchers. But anyhow, the point is, I called out to some, and I tried to get them to come on, and they just kept ghosting me. So I don't know. It's because I'm a mountain man explorer of the truth. I want to get to the truth. I'm not here to ridicule you. I'm not here to put you on the spot. I'm going to let you tell your truth. If that's your truth, that's your truth. And I might question some things in it, but I'm not gonna, ridicule you or bash on you. So don't be scared to come on the show. If you had a true experience and true researcher wants to share his evidence and all that, come on the show. You know, I'm not here to poke the bear. I'm not trying to upset anyone, but that's the problem when it comes into the Bigfoot paranormal world, conspiracy stuff, whatever. That is too many different sides on it. There's the Hollywood side. There's people that want to get rich, and there's the people who just wants to share the truth and open people's minds to that there's more going on. And those are the ones I like connecting with because that's what they're about. They want to go out there and spread the truth, and they find this stuff fascinating. So those are my like-minded people. Um, maybe that's a part of my, maybe that's a little downfall for me because I'm not part of that Hollywood side of it and the one mind track people. Don't get me wrong. I watch some of that Hollywood side of it. It's entertaining, but that's all it is, entertainment, because they don't really have anything to prove, you know. Now, people like us that are like-minded and want to share the truth and show what they have that looks like a legitimate find and all that, um, and be disagreeing and agreeing on things and still be respectful. Those are the people I want to connect with because I think, you know, I think we got an open mind. I think once you open your mind, more happens. Anyways, I'm gonna do a little repeat on here on Facebook, letting people know the updates and so it's gonna sound like I repeated myself in the beginning here. You are accepted, Kel. I got you on there. So let's see here. Well, let's see. That's a weird thing. Oh, if you're trying to post something in there, Kel, and the group page, try again. I got this automated thing that deletes things. I gotta turn that off. Don't want to use those little robot things. I need to go in there and fix that. Let's see here. I'm hoping this helps by sharing the show more. I mean, I got like 1.5K followers on Facebook and growing. But let me see what I can do here. Quick little live. Apologize, guys. A little dead air on you. All right. I'm going to go live right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm on YouTube right now doing a quick little live and updates on the show. Um, to those who wanted to come on the show, be sure to message me on Facebook. Excuse me. Be sure to message me on Facebook, and we'll set up a time. Show me the time and days that work for you, and then I can write it down on my schedule and get you set up for the show. I've had been reached out by John Urban and Cindy Goodberg, and then I got reached out. Oh, I reached out to Donna, and man, I can't remember who else was reaching out to me. But those of you who wanted to come on, just message me and give me the days and time that you're available, and we'll set up those days and get you on the show. We'll talk about whatever you want to share. If you haven't joined YouTube yet or Spotify or anything like that, be sure to check out all the episodes, catch up. So And it's back. Mountain Man Explorer Truth is back, and I know I've been saying that for a while, but right now I need to build episodes up. I need to build it up before I start releasing an episode every week. So bear with me, guys. So I figured I'd do a quick little Facebook video. See, I'm live on here, and got my equipment all going. Anyways, oh, you might have saw my weapon over there. Anyways, I got my little decoration going on back here. You know, still more to put up, but for those of you or friends or family on here on Facebook, I'm glad to have you here and stay connected. If you're interested in the same stuff that I am, don't be afraid to connect. You could talk about it. Always been open for that. So, anyways, guys, I just wanted to share it on Facebook as well. To those who want to come on the show, be sure to message me. Um, and you're on my friend list. I know that. So PM me. I'll also try to reach out to you, and we'll get you set up for some shows. I got a few episodes, but I'm not dropping anything until I get at least 10 or more episodes, so that way I can have a new one going every week for you guys. So, because in the past, it was always a battle. I would have maybe 1 to 5 episodes, and I'll have one every week, but because I was having trouble getting people to come on, it was kind of hard because a lot of people wanted to do this, be on live, or I mean, not live, but be on video and do live shows too, probably. So, but yeah, it's much appreciated, guys. Now that sorry, I got distracted here. Hold on a second. Okay, I think I need to update this OBS. Keeps trying to tell me something. I'll update it later. Anyways, like I said, if you haven't checked out Mountain Man Explorer Truth, go check it out on Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube and hit that bell and comment. Let me know what you think of the show. And on Spotify, you can catch up with all the episodes. I got a lot on there. So, because in the beginning, I was doing the show in the truck. I was living in a camper. So I had to make a little studio in the truck. And you'll see that on YouTube, some of those videos. And I had some great guests on the show. Most of them have been really great. I mean, all of them, to be honest. All of them been great guests. They had credible experience and good, opinions on things. And I mean, I had a few I didn't think I can get on the show. Like example, I had Ron Moorhead and who else did I have? See, my brain's fogging up, guys. I'm still waking up. Um, just go check it out. You'd be amazed who I've had on the show that you might know. Um, and it was great, man. It was great having these guests on the show, learning about their experience and on their thought, and what they use for their research. Um, and I was saying earlier on YouTube, if you go check it out, or you can catch it. I'm going to repeat it again. For those of the researchers out there, I've been trying to reach out to come on the show. They kept ghosting me. They just reschedule. I don't know what the problem is with that. I don't know. It's because I can see through BS and I can see what's legit and what's not. I'm not trying to put them on the spot. I'm just trying to tell them what I agree and disagree with, and with respect. You know, if they show me a picture of what's supposed to be a dog man or a Bigfoot or whatever, I might say, "Hey, that looks like a tree to me, man. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it." No, 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 it's a dog man, or Bigfoot. I'm not seeing it because it just looks like a tree, the shape of it, because I can pay attention to detail. I have that. I don't know. I just feel like I can see it. I could see some good pictures and other things that do look like a dog man and a Bigfoot. But you got to always question things because that's how you get hoaxed by a lot of people, because you say, "Oh, that is what it is," wow. But you got to really pay attention to it. And it's going to be a big problem with AI. AI is a big problem, but you can usually see the mistakes with AI because it'll double fingers or another face or something like that. So you got to be careful with that as well. But to those researchers that I try to reach out in the past, I apologize if I offended you because I was questioning your findings. I wasn't trying to hurt you on that. I'm just trying to tell you that what I believe. I believe, for example, with footprints, they got to have more detail with it. See that footprint back there? It's pretty detailed, right? And some people can get some good ones and some okay ones, but you got to always question those because I always believe there should be a pathway, more than two, maybe 4 or 5 footprints going up, and they always show only one. I mean, if you got some good legitimate research on things and showing pictures, and you need to go out there and do a before and after picture, so that way people will really, I mean, you probably don't care if they believe you or not, 'cause you know what you experienced, which I respect that. But to back up your findings, you probably should do befores and after pictures and more detail on it, because a lot of hoaxers are out there, and you want people to take your research seriously. Then you should have more details on it, just to get people to see what you found, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, that's believable for sure." Like for example, if you got a face of a Bigfoot out there in that tree area, or a dog man, or whatever it could be other kinds of creatures. Um, Go out there, go back out there. I know you might be freaked out because of what you saw, but go back out there and do an after picture of the same spot. Because if you don't see that thing there, then you know it was something. But if you see that thing, uh, a tree there in the same spot, then most likely it was a tree or a bush or something like that. I get it. I've been fooled a few times when I went out and did some of my own little research, and I freaked myself out. I was looking at a stomp, and I thought it was a hunched down Bigfoot because it looked like one. I didn't think about taking a picture of it. I just backed out and went, whoa, 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 whoa. Freaked me out. And then, in Oregon, in these stumps, they just had a lot of detail to them, like moss, so it looked like a creature. So went back to that area, and I was like, I'm gonna face my fears, and I got closer to it, and I'm like, it's in the same spot. I go, oh, it's a stomp. I got really close, and I go, wow, man, that fooled me. It was a stomp. I thought for sure I finally, saw something up close. I did see something there in Oregon, that's for sure, over in the Clear Cut. I talk about that on the episodes, but I ain't gonna talk about it right now. But anyhow, I'm not trying to bash on researchers. I just want to make sure they know that. So you don't have to keep ghosting me. If you want to come on the show and share your truth, come on. You're more than welcome to. So I'm not gonna. We might disagree and agree on things. So, and I'll be respectful to you. I'm not trying to call you a hoaxer. I'm not trying to call you out on anything how you do your research, because everybody does their research differently. I've always leave the table open for researchers to come on, because I always love to hear what they got to say, um, especially different ones, and it's I've had some good ones come on the show, and I definitely believed them. So if you want to share your truth, come on, Mountain Man, explore the truth. And I just wanted to say that certain things about researchers, that they just never back up their story. Like they don't go out there and do it before and after picture and get close to that area where they saw it, to share more pictures. Say, see, it's not there, and match up the trees, match up the bushes, and match everything up. It's more believable if you do that. Because if it's not there, then you definitely saw something, my friend. But if there's a tree still there in that spot where it looks like what you saw, then you didn't see anything, man. It was just a spook moment. You might have thought you did, but it turned out it was just that. I know it's disappointing. I know it could be disappointing, but that's just how you get your stuff believable. You'd be going back, oh man, guys, I really thought that was a dog man or a Bigfoot, but it turned out to be a damn tree or stump. Look at me. I admit, oh, that stump was, I didn't share that. I knew right off the bat. That's a stump. But what I saw across that clear cut was an upright figure, and it was big. It was big, man. Because how I know it was big is I seen the logger guys go over there and do their work. They looked tiny compared to what I saw. So was it a Bigfoot? I don't know, but it was way larger than them. So I shared that on my show. You can go back and check it out. So I talk about it in details, and I shared pictures on. I think I've shared pictures on YouTube, but maybe not. I might have to do that. Anyways, guys, that's it for Facebook. So if you want to reach out, come on the show. All right, that's that. Anyways, guys, so how long have I been going for? Um, a little while. I wanted to go just a little while longer and do a quick little updates and stuff. Merry Christmas Eve to you all, and have a great Christmas. So, and thank you, Gail. I appreciate you sharing it, man. You know what? I better not be mis identifying. Wait a second. Hey, Kel, are you a man or a woman? Because I know some girls named Kel too. So I apologize if I Uh, misidentified. Thank you for being here too. Appreciate that. I try to pay attention to Matt's when I'm in his show, paying attention to his audience. I glance over to see what you guys are saying. There's a lot of times I see you bring me up in there. I want to say something, but I want to interrupt the show. So I appreciate you and all the guests in there who are giving me a shout out and sharing my show. See, that's why I asked you, Kel, because I know Kel. That's a guy. His name's Kel. So I apologize for that. So I apologize. I thought the first time I'd done that. So, and I can't really see your little icon at the close. Oh, that's cool. I like your icon. Right on. So I apologize for that. You wouldn't believe it too. There was a uh, another person named Blake, and Blake's name is used for woman and man too. Um, it threw me off because I was like, "Oh, hey man, you got the same name," and she's like, "No, I'm a girl," and I'm like, "Oh, I apologize." So I think that's cool. So, I mean, there is that one actress, which I think she's a cook. Um, crazy what I mean. Anyways, lost side of track here. I was trying to bring up more stuff too. Um, I just want to make sure you knew I apologize for that because didn't realize it. But anyhow, Hal, I appreciate you coming in here and sharing the show. And if for those of people who pop in later, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button. Help me grow this YouTube channel up to. My goal is to get to 1,000 as quick as I can. I don't know how long it will take, but some say it won't take. Some say it won't take long. But I haven't worked too hard on it. But I'm gonna be working harder on it now. I'm gonna try to do a live. Um, I'm gonna try to do as much as I can, as long as I got something to talk about. Because I just don't want to come on here with dead air. I'm gonna think of things that we can bring up and talk, and maybe somebody will pop in and want to come on the show, and I'll bring them on. Because I don't. That's another thing too is people that haven't had experience out there. They're more than welcome to come on the show too, because they're like-minded and want to learn about these unknown things. So that's always on the table too. If you just want to come on and shoot a conversation with me and discuss what we think it is and what that is, whatever, that is cool too. Not everybody has experience, but they're into it, and maybe they have, and I just didn't realize it, especially when it comes to paranormal stuff. Because I think a lot of people have. Because I think we all get attacked by something dark through our life, and then we just got to pull right back out of it. So, anyhow, I think I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to try to get some shows set up. And if I can get a show set up today, maybe I'll release that and just leave the other ones alone for right now. Depends. It depends who I have on the show. Because the other ones I still need to edit, and I mean I can edit those probably and drop them here soon. But I kind of wanted to build it up though. But I know that some people are wanting to hear a new episode, but there's a lot of people who haven't listened to the show. So I'm like, well, go back and start from one and work your way up because there's a good amount of episodes. So yeah, Matt, it's awesome because when I saw all his guests in there, I seen how they're all like a family to him, and I think that's awesome. And he's doing amazing. I knew he was gonna boom because he's just a likable guy, and his experience is just out there. It's crazy, meaning that it's the most incredible experience I ever heard. And me and Matt go way back. He's one of my first guests, and he's always wanted to do this. And I knew. I always told him, "You got to do it, man. I think you'd be a good podcaster and a YouTuber." And he's working on doing the podcast stuff now too on audio. So I hope he does that soon because I think he'll be doing amazing on Spotify, iHeartRadio too for people to listen to. But he's doing great. I love the reviews of the videos. I thought about doing a similar thing. Excuse me. But I don't want to be copying people's way of they do it. Maybe I'll do something a little different. Maybe I'll go and do reviews on researchers. I know that's that's gonna be
that might be a thorn in some of them. I mean, it would be me speaking my honest opinion about certain researchers out there because some of them really stick a thorn in my side. Because they're actually out there, fooling people and misinformation, and it's unfortunate, because it ruins it for us believers that believe in Bigfoot and Dogman and paranormal and UFOs. But I know there's some that I questioned, but they turn out to be really good people, and they, like some of these people, like who, thinking, let me think here of a good example. No, I won't put those people on the spot because I was kind of iffy about them, and I don't want to bash on them either. Um, I try to be careful what I say, but there's some podcasters out there, I'm not gonna name off, but I'll name off some few that really got me my mind opened up more. But the ones that I was listening to in the past, I started learning that they weren't about telling people the truth. They're just wanting to get huge, like a lot of these big podcasters out there. I always said with my show, if it makes it, great. If it don't, I'm gonna keep doing it because I enjoy it. It's a hobby to me, and it's my I'm fascinated in Bigfoot and hearing people's experience. I don't care where it really goes. All I care is making new friends and like-minded people and discussing these things. That's what's important to me. So, um, a lot of people out there do podcasts. That's what they're trying to do, and it's like they're going about it the wrong way. It's like you need to build a relationship with people and let it grow on its own. If it's meant to grow, it's meant to grow. If it don't, it don't. You're still making great friends. You don't have to be famous to make friends. Um, but don't get me wrong. There's a lot of big time podcasters that deserve it. I mean, they're doing really well because they're likable. Like for example, like I said, Wes. He's a likable guy and laid back, and he don't care what people think, and that's what I like. That's me. I'm like that too, and that's why I connect with that. And same with Tony Merkel. His show. I like his show too. In the beginning, I was like, I don't know. I don't know the confessionals. I don't know. But the more I listened to his show, the more he opened my mind as well. Especially when it came to at first when he was pulling up a lot of the religion side effect, I was kind of like, oh man, you don't want to bring that in too much. But I'm a believer in God and Jesus too. Now I don't care what people think. I used to care about that. I don't know why. Makes you wonder, don't it? And that's what I liked about Tony. He's just like, I don't care what you think. I believe what I believe, and that's what me too. So there's a couple good, famous, known podcasts right there that I just shared that I think are on the right path and they're doing great. And what I love about Sasquatch Chronicles, Wes Grimmer's show, is that he keeps it real. He doesn't change too much. I mean, he's not trying to advance. Is what I feel like. That's why I keep listening to it. Yeah, right, Kel. I like it. That's why I said I'm gonna leave that with Matt. Because if he wants to invite me on more often on there, which it sure sounds like, so that's awesome. We're gonna try to do one with Rye, which me and Rye go way back, and I knew Matt. That's how Rye and Matt met through me. I uh, I told Rye to reach out to Matt, and Matt to reach out to him, and he came on the Rye's show when Rye and Tom were a thing. Um, they blew up, good friends too. So that's what's awesome. It's like that's why I say it's important stay connected with friends, because you connect a lot of people and they build a good relationship being friends and they become like family. And that was my honor, connecting people like that. And I thought it was awesome because I knew these guys were important. And me and Rye go way back. We started at the same time. That's when he was with the Lost Frequency podcast, and then he went and did his own. He branched off, did his own, which I think that was the best decision he did. Here I am talking about Rye and Matt. He was one of my first guests, and then I remember Rye and it was Tom with him at the time, and I think maybe I don't know if he did it with Codega. I think he just did it with the Frequency podcast. But anyways, I told him you need to get Matt on your show, dude. It's the best dog man encounter you'll ever hear. It's pretty scary, and the trauma, you'll hear it in his voice, and they connected, and look at them, they became good friends too now. That's what I love about it. You make a lot of friends through this, and it just amazes me how many people you can connect with. So, but yeah, I do want to reach out to. They're actually getting pretty known too. These podcasters. I like to reach out to what was that one? See, I'm a little lost in touch, guys, because I haven't been listening to too much podcasts lately. I've been trying to keep up with Rise and Matt, and I usually listen to Sasquatch Chronicles, but with my job, you're not allowed to wear, ear pods and stuff like that. When I was working at Amazon, I can listen to it all the time, so it was cool. Um, so, all right, let's see here, guys. I'm gonna share with you guys the shows I've listened to because you might not check them out. It's just me shout out to them. Excuse me. My allergies is flaring up. Well, you heard me say the confessionals. I listened to the Sasquatch Chronicles. You might be the same. You might listen to some of those stuff. Um, I used to listen to just creepy stories because I found those were interesting to listen to. Um, my brain's still waking up. I apologize. You're gonna learn I'm ditzy too sometimes. And you know what? The cryptid huntress. You guys ever listened to her? Jessica Jones. I had a I was gonna have her on the show a while back, but I messed up on the time. So and she's a busy woman, so I felt like an idiot. So I'm gonna have to call her out. Call her out and see if she want to come on again. Because I like how she does her show too. Hers is fun. Not caring what people think, not facing ridicule. And she's got some great guests that come on the show all the time. What I love about her show is that remote viewing that she does, it's pretty amazing because it's like I don't know, it's just it gives me goosebumps when she talks about it. You're like, whoa, some of the stuff that she sees and does a remote viewing on. And when I first started listening to her show, I was like, I don't know about this lady. But then when I listened to it more and more, I gave it a chance. And that's the problem. People just need to give shows a chance. And shout out to Jessica Jones. We're not right friends, but she's on my friend list, and I listen to her show, so I'm a fan of her show. Um, I think she's doing great on her show, so keep it up. Um, so that's one to check out as well. Brent is good too. Brent. What show is he? What podcast is he? You can put it in there. There's a lot I need to reach out. That's why I was trying to read in your guys' on Matt's show. I was trying to read what other podcasters are out there, because I like to bring them on as well. Reach out to them or go on their show. Tammy's a cool one too. We did a little quick live. I want to redo one with her because it was just a spare out a moment. Um, see here. Yeah, it's kind of cleared off my list here. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting podcast shows out there. Like I like to listen to Cryptic Creatures. The only thing with Cryptic Creatures is that he's got a good show and good stuff going on. Paranormal Portal. Oh, I think I know that one. Okay, yeah, I think I listened to his show. I think he's been on Matt's too, right, Brent? I think I think I watched one of their shows together. So yeah, I know who that is now. I remember. See, my mind kind of gets a little foggy on that. And you know what's great too? It's fun doing shows. I definitely give a shout out to people saying, "Do it. Don't be afraid to do it. If you got something to give and you want to share and do a show, it's simple. Just get a simple setup. And what's important is sound quality. Make sure you have good sound quality because it goes a long ways. When I first started out, it was crappy. This is what I have is good enough. I plan on getting a better mic and a better board down the road, but don't have the funds for that. Maybe if the show actually grows more, then I'll invest more money into it because it's a good setup. I got a good setup now, so I'm happy with it. I'll even show you guys other stuff here. Um, I'm sure I gotta reach out to my friend Aaron. Eric Turner. He's got a cool video of possible Bigfoots, and I think they were. I'll have to reach out to him and see if he'll let me share it on my show. And let people. That'd be. I'm gonna ask if I could share that with Matt actually, because it'd be a video for everybody to see. Because you can see these two figures walking in the background. He was out hiking, down deep in this canyon in Oregon. and you can see these two figures walking away, trying to get away from when he was walking through, because he liked to film his hiking trips. So I think that'd be a cool video to do a little review on. So I'll have to see if he'll let me do it with his permission. So I had to go back and remember her. Oh, okay, yeah, I was right on the number. So I have 44 episodes, guys. It would have been way more than that if I kept it going. Because you gotta see here. I took like a long year gap, and then I went back to doing the show for a little bit, and then I took another long 6 months gap. So I'm technically been in it for 5 years, but a lot of breaks, a lot of breaks. So, but I'm back. There's gonna be no more breaks. I'm just waiting for it to build up. That way, if I do take a little break, I have episodes to release every week, and I'll do a live here and there. I am definitely gonna do a lot more lives. I think it's fun, but I'd like to get some people to come on and do lives with. Just come on the show and do a live together. Which me and Ryan are talking about doing that together here. I want to bring him on my show, and then I want to go on his show. But I'm looking forward to coming on Matt's show with him. It was fun doing that at the end of the show with him because I don't know. I think we can go places. Us three together. I like you'll learn with me. I like listening and hearing what they got to say when I'm doing a live. I'm kind of quiet at first, but I'm kind of observing and listening and trying to pay attention to their details because I do have ADD. So I'll get distracted and not hear and go out the other ear. So I try to focus and pay attention and listen better. And that way I can come back and say my thoughts on it. See, that's another thing I was battling. My attention, I'm doing better on that. You got to learn to control it. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys need to go and hey, Mr. Duffy, Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, there's you're gonna meet a lot of cool people in this world when it comes to doing podcast shows. Oh, oh, hey, this is just keep it a little respectful, just because everybody does stuff differently. Remember that, Duffy? I try to keep it respectful. No, not trying to, hurt, put thorn in people's side. You got to remember, it's just the way it is. Um, yeah, freedom of speech. Yeah, I know censorship. I'm not trying to censor you. I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep it, respectful. That's all. I don't know what you hear from his show or and other people. You know what I mean? Uh, but I respect it. I respect you. So just give me a little respect on that. I don't want that on here because of it puts a thorn in some people's side. I'm gonna agree with you on some things. I don't agree with way certain people do shows and what they say and what they know. So, but that's a whole nother episode. We can talk together sometime. So, oh yeah, yeah, well, so, but yeah, appreciate that, Duffy. Anyhow, and I think you need to do a podcast, man. Keep doing that, doing you. I think you need to do a podcast and start on it, dude, because you got a lot of energy and you got a lot of things to say. You're gonna have people that disagree with you and agree with you. Like I agree with you a good amount of it. But I do disagree on some things. But that's the way it should be, right? And be respectful about it. That's what I was talking about earlier. If you caught the show earlier, man, I you would see it, dude. It was I was talking about that. I tend to do the same thing, and I'll start to really bash on researchers, and I took it back a bit. I was like, you know what? I'm being a little bit much on that, so I stepped back a little bit because I can't stand it when people are one mind track, and think they know everything because they really don't, you know. And I've been more open about that. So, oh, don't worry, Delphi. I'm not gonna ignore you. You're a friend of mine, so um, you are in the world of the podcasters and the cryptids and all that, man. I hear your name be brought up in some shows. So you are reaching out to some people. Um, so I heard your name on some podcast shows a couple times, man. I can't remember who. I'll be listening to some shows and I hear your name be brought up. That Mr. Duffy guy. And then I think it was who was that? It wasn't Sasquatch Chronicles, but he had a similar name. Oh man, what was was that? Was it Bigfoot Odyssey or no? I think it was Sasquatch Odyssey, if I remember right. You got to go back and check his show out, dude. They brought you up in there. No, but anyhow, Duffy, I think you need to do a podcast, man. You got a lot of energy. I don't think you're gonna be ignored. I think a lot of people will agree with you. Um, but my best advice to you is to keep it open, man. Keep it open, disagree and agree with respect. You know, there's gonna be stuff that you're gonna get. This is just my opinion. Just be. I'm working on it myself. Leave it on the table. Let's hear what you got to say. That's what I say to people, you know. And then you debate with them, but they got to be respectful to you as well, and debate with being clean. Um, I've had that issue. There's a couple episodes I didn't release because I was debating with one researcher and he was being kind of ignorant about it and didn't like what I got to say. So I go, well, I can still drop your episode. And he goes, you can do whatever you want because we're not agreeing on things. And I'm like, well, that's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to point out facts on evidence. That's all. So I stuck a thorn on that guy's side, and that was a while ago. So I kept that episode in the files. I might release it. I'll reach out to him again and see if he's cool about it. I told him I didn't mean to disrespect you. I was just saying my opinion and what I think, and that's all. Um, nah, dude. I think if you went, I think if you do it on Spotify, do audio first, and then start uploading to YouTube. Because YouTube will probably would. Because I mean, you just gotta watch it with one thing I learned with YouTube is that we got to watch it with our words, I guess, because certain things you say, YouTube just went boom. So, and then your stuff starts acting up. Because there's one I did on here and it did something weird with my YouTube channel. I think I accidentally said certain things I wasn't supposed to say, and then my video started wigging out. And that one video we did together, or that show, we went on for a couple hours. They tried to flag me on that for some reason. I think it's still up. I don't know why they were flagging us on it. I didn't think we did anything, said anything wrong. So, oh, the Bigfoot. That's just one I picked up at the museum at the Bigfoot Museum in Oregon. I can't remember which footprint that was, man. I had the name down on it. Let me see. I think I have it here in the file because there's so many footprints that they have. Um, let's see here. Bear with me. Bigfoot. Uh, I'll get the name for you and tell you later. It's not one to pop up on my phone. I had a little tag for it, but it disappeared. So I like it because it has dimmer ridges in it, and you can actually see some like pine needle shapes in there too that I want to stepped on there. But I like it, man. It's one of the best ones I seen in the museum. I'm like, I like that one. That looks more legit. Because there's some on there you can tell that look kind of hokey to me. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to grow the channel, man. I'd like to bring you back on, and we'll have a good all little conversation. Let's see here. All right. Checking some things. But anyhow, I'm glad you're still up and going, Duffy. There's some people that I think you need to connect with too. Yeah, I think you got to keep sharing that, man. It seems like you got a hot spot over there, so be sure to share that, and you'll start seeing more people on my channel too, Duffy. I'm trying to get it to grow. Kel's new to it from Plan 412. Matt's one of my good friends, and Rye, he's one of my great friends too. We all might not agree on certain things to help people do on their show, but I think they're doing great, in my opinion. But everybody has the right of their opinions. And there's a lot of podcasters out there that are doing things differently, and I'm trying to keep mine the same as it was and on track. Um, but I am changing my way of being a bit of a, I was kind of a bit of a, I'm going to just spell it. I was kind of a bit of a ASS on some things. So I stepped back a little bit and realized, I don't have no place to be doing that. It just felt like I was being disrespectful sometimes. So now I just totally trying to be respectful, even if I disagree with people. So that's what we need to go back to. We need to go back to disagree and agree on things and debate about it and what your thoughts are about it. It's going to frustrate you on certain people out there. I get that, the big timers out there, how they're going about it the wrong way. But that's what I call the Hollywood side of it. You want to stay away from that. And then you got the people that have the open mind to a bunch of other things, to truth, and want to share their truth. And then you got multiple sides of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's true. Good point there. But yeah, you're gonna see some good guests come on the show, and I like to keep everybody respectful. I'm not gonna try to mute people or do any censorship, but if I see people being disrespectful, even to you or my friends or anything like that, I will let you know right off the bat. Like, oh, come on, step it down. Let's keep it clean. You know what I mean? Just because it's, I want to keep my YouTube channel going, and because I've been slipped on a couple episodes I did on my own. A few curse words I've said, and I was like, oh man, I didn't think they were gonna flag. I thought YouTube was okay with some of that, but I guess I was wrong. I guess you could say certain words though, but I heard the F word you cannot say. So see, Kel's a really cool lady. She's part of Matt's world too, so she's a supporter over there. Show her a lot of respect too, man. She's cool. She's just subscribed at you, man. So that's what I'm saying, man. When you get some people out there that think alike and want to be respectful to you, and even if they disagree with you or agree with you, that's what it's all about. Because a good majority of them are going to agree with you, and you're not the only one, too, Duffy. That I had a few friends that kind of didn't like certain friends of mine, but then they actually started talking and showing more respect to each other. Uh, I think that can happen for all of us because there's some podcasters or just guests or people that are involved with this stuff that I disagreed with, and I didn't want to talk to him more because I was like, "Man, you're BS." But then I gave him a chance, and we're more civil about it now. Even though I disagree the way that researcher's doing his thing, trying to show him some respect because I was like, I can't be an ASS all the time. There's one particular guy still have a thorn in the side of because he's fooling a lot of people, but I just figure I'll let people do that themselves. You know what I mean? It's just I realize I can't be the guy, that person to expose people like that. But I am thinking about doing something cool with the live shows. I thought about doing reviews on researchers. You know, big time researchers that is too. How they may have had some legitimate stuff, and then you got to expose the fake hoaxy stuff that they're doing too, because that's the stuff we got to clean up. We can't let these people keep fooling people that are involved with Bigfoot and Dogman, paranormal, and whatever else is going on in our world. We got to stop the ones who keep hoaxing and faking things. And I want to be one of those people to review those, researchers and just say, look what they're doing wrong and what they should be doing in your opinion. You know what I mean? Being respectful about it. Because some people might disagree with you on how you what you think of them. So I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some researchers out there I can tell just want to get rich. They just want to get big and rich. That's it. They're not about telling their truth. They just don't care about that. They're in it for just the money only. Me as a, I was brought this up earlier. Me as a podcaster, I don't care if I made it big or not. If I'm in the middle or I'm in the bottom, that's okay with me because I enjoy doing this. It's my fascination, of getting into the Bigfoot because Bigfoot's my main subject, and I've always been into Bigfoot. So I really don't care, where it goes. Part of me does because I want to build a good relationship. I do care. I do want to build a big relationship with people they're like-minded. Sorry, my nose is drained. I wish I had a napkin nearby. Anyways, I want to connect with more like-minded people. Oh, Kel, there's some big times out there. I would say I gotta be careful. I guess I would say Todd is one of them up in Canada, and there's some new hoaxers. See, I slipped and said hoaxers. There's some new researchers out there that have been going at it, but they're going at it the wrong way, and on their evidence finding. I'm not gonna say their names. You can kind of figure them out real quick in group pages on Facebook. You'll see. Um, but I could tell you bits a little bit here and there, but those are the ones we gotta kind of pay attention to as well, because you gotta rule them out, keep them out of that loop because they're in it the wrong way. Um, there is some great researchers out there, like you know Duffy's a good one, and there's a lot of good ones out there. I mean, Matt's obviously a researcher too, and Rye, and podcasters. A lot of us are researchers in a way. I'm a little bit of one. I like to call myself more of an investigator and a truth seeker. I let everybody throw it on the table to share what their findings, and I do a little bit of my own. And I've experienced some things I could not explain, so I'm trying to look into it more. But anyhow, there's a good majority of researchers out there that are going at it, but they just frustrate me. So now that's another example I was trying to tell Duffy earlier, is that I'm trying to be more respectful. Because I realized, my wife pointed out, she goes, you know, when people act that way, you're starting to, bash on them or hate on them. You start pushing people away that actually support you and believe in what you believe, but they don't want to hear that negative side of it. And I get what she's saying too, and what others say. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm going at it about the wrong way. You got to be more, discreet and green and be respectful about it. Because even though it frustrates the hell out of you, because you don't like what they're doing, you can debate with them. That's what I learned. Debate with them to see what they got to say. And I'm talking about researchers. You could debate with them and see what they got to say, and maybe they got some good stuff, or maybe they got a lot of BS. So, and that's how you rule it out. But then you could just basically point out to them, like, well, man, I disagree with what you're doing. I think you're going at it about the wrong way. Respectfully, I am going to step away from that because I'm in it for wanting people. I'm in it for the truth. I'm trying to think how to word it too. Because there's a lot of them that frustrate me. But there is some big time ones that I do think they had some good stuff, but then started being a bit hokey. So I'll leave it at that because I realize I can get carried away. And there's one thing too. When we get together on shows here, I get away with some things, and I go, whoa, 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 Blake, step back. That frustration comes in. So I got to step back and rethink what I'm going to say, because I know I might slip up and say something, a little bit hurtful or stupid. So, but what I love about doing the show too is I'm building a lot of friendship with people. I got some guests I don't like this guest, and I try to keep them civil. I'm like, come on, guys, let's be respectful, and they're doing okay after that. I like that. That's why I like Matt's show. He's pointing out videos that we both agreed on that's AI or BS, and that's fun. I do like reviewing videos. But I want to do something about. I think we should review researchers too, but be respectful about it on what their findings are and what our thoughts are on it without ridiculing them. There's got to be a way to do it clean. Because if it was for me, it probably wouldn't be so clean. Because there's a lot that I cannot stand, but I'm trying to be more respectful. You know what I mean? So I'm working on that, and there's a lot. It's Matt M from Planet 412, man. He's a great guy. I know you checked him out before. You were kind of iffy about him, but I think you know who he is. He's a good guy, man. He's one of my great friends, and you know who Rye is. Rye's one of my great friends too. They like keeping it, they just like keeping their stuff clean, and Well, that's your right if you don't believe his experience, but I believe him 100%, man. Just the detail in his voice. I had him on my show, and it was a wonderful experience hearing it. It's one of the best Dogman encounters, for my opinion, man. I don't know. I don't know if that's the one you might be thinking of another Matt. There is another Matt that does a similar thing. So, but you got your right to think what you want. But he's a good friend of mine, man. Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name of that guy. Yeah, that's somebody else. Just go check out Planet 412. Just be respectful to Matt. He's a really cool guy. Um, I think you like him. I think you like him because he points out the BS too, man. You're the same way about that. Um, yeah, I think you checked him out before. And Rye, I think you had a little issue with Rye's show at first too, but he does his differently, and I have a lot of respect for Rye. And that's the thing though. You're gonna check out some podcasts and turn out, I don't know about this guy, and then later on you're like, oh, he's all right, he's good. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's a lot of that going on right now with the FEC. I think you would be the guy. That's why I say you need to become a podcaster or do a YouTube show based on stuff like that, because you're good at pointing out these BSers, and I think you should do it. You would be surprised how much support you would get from that, because there's a lot of people that like to point that out, like, hey, this guy's BS, and I'm a believer. I'm a believer in Bigfoot. I'm a believer in all these weird, strange things going on in our world. But this guy's full of it. You know what I mean? So I think you got that gift, you know. But you just do it, man. Come up with a name and go out there and do it. I think you got it. That's just me saying my opinion, man. I think you should do it because you got a smart mouth, man. What I mean by smart mouth is you got a smart input on it. You know how to point out this and that and call out BS, and I like that. I respect that. And you know, a lot of people might not agree about it, you know, but that's their right. I agree about it though. I think you should go out there and point out that that's what my channel is about too. I like to show people's truth and not let them face ridicule. I give people all a chance to tell their experience with respect. You know, I want to keep it a safe place for them to do it and not let them feel like they're being put on the spotlight and being called liars or anything like that. You know what I mean? Oh, my dog's going off now. Anyways, that's what you need to do, man. In my opinion, is look into making a name on that. I'm just trying to motivate you because I think you can do it. You might be to avoid getting censored so much is you gotta just follow these silly rules they have on here. But Spotify, I think it's a little less likely. I think you'd do great on Spotify, man. I know it's not a lot of video content; it's more audio, but I think you can get away with more uh, with certain words. You know what I'm saying? On also YouTube, you got to be treading lightly. Is what I've been learning. But you know all about that stuff. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down because I gotta get some things done and I'm gonna get some shows set up. Duffy, it's good to see you here, man. And I think you should start your own show. I think you would do great going like what you just talked about right there, man. Your last quote, your message there. You should go find out these guys and just put them on the spot. Of course, do it without getting in trouble. And Kel, it was great seeing you here, and I'm glad you're part of my channel too. And you're a friend of mine on Facebook now as well. And we'll stay in touch, and we'll keep it clean on this channel. Um, when I do audio version, it doesn't have to be super clean because you can get away with more certain words. Um, but anyhow, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to shut down, and I hope you guys subscribe to the channel and keep on listening. And I'm gonna work on doing some stuff for in and out on videos here. I'm gonna do some better ways of leaving the show and coming into the show. Yeah, goodbye, and goodbye, Duff. Thanks for coming in and stopping by and saying hello, guys. I know this is just out of the blue, you know. Yeah, I appreciate you, Kel. All right, let's see here. We're going out, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas to both of you for coming in, and to all of you. Thanks for coming in, and take care. And here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and close out the video. All right. Well, I guess I should leave a little ending, right? Let's go ahead and put in my end of my show here. So here we go. It's like I do on my audio. If you'd like to come on the show, email me at mountainmanett@gmail.com. You can also message me on Facebook. Look for Blake Botel. And I'm here to tell your truth, guys. So you're here for a safe place to tell your truth. I'll be glad to have you on the show. And oh, I'm getting reached out again for a show. Right on. So let's do it. If you want to come on Mountain Man Explore the Truth, be sure to check it out. You can check it out on Spotify. You can check it out on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and hit that bell. And on Spotify, be sure to hit that follow button and hit the likes and rate the show, because it sure helps a lot to put more episodes out for all of you guys. So let's keep doing it. I'm going to keep going, and I hope to see you guys here again, and hopefully you will subscribe to the channel. Help me grow this up to 1,000, guys. I got a long ways to go. I need to get to 1,000 and keep it going. And I think with your help, I can get there. Thank you so much, and have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year.